Hey guys, so we're going to go over some stuff that's kind of some basic image generation stuff. If you've been playing around with image generation for any time, this isn't going to be anything new to you. But hey, you guys that are just getting into this is going to mean the world to you, okay? This is going to be like alien technology to you because it really is cool. Now, keep in mind, people really only been mucking around with this stuff for the last year or so. It was about a year ago this stuff really started getting big. So a lot of times people, you feel like you're so far behind, but really, it hasn't been that long since this stuff's started up and gotten big. So you're actually doing fine. I'm gonna, like I said, teach you some pretty basic stuff here, which is gonna blow your mind. If you haven't done it before, and if you have, you're going to be like, eh. So one of the things we're going to do here is I'm going to teach you how using SDForge. Okay, obviously you can do this in multiple different applications. Maybe we'll make some videos on those. But I'm going to use SDForge since that's one of my favorites. And we're going to do things like this. Take an original photo. Look at this. And then we're going to use something called Canny to go ahead and give it the basic outlines. And then we're going to be able to create stuff that is based around that. So we'll be able to say airline pilot, airline stewardess in Beirut. I don't know. And we're going to be able to generate things that are, look at that, is going to still be the basic thing. So this is called Canny. We're going to show you another one here that we're going to do that's called OpenPose, where we're going to be able to just click on something, get the basic pose of it. Where's the button? We're going to click, and then do the same thing. But kind of the neat stuff with the OpenPose is that we're going to be able to do stuff like this. We're actually going to be able to edit it and actually change fundamental pieces of the picture itself. Now watch, we'll click this one here. Look at that. And all of a sudden we're going to have something very different. That's really cool. And I know you guys are wanting to be able to do this, okay? Play with it. Very, what's the word? Advanced feature. Okay, remember, everything that people are building, it's like they're building with Lego blocks. Like they get one piece that's really amazing, and they get another piece, and they start building stuff up. So don't get overwhelmed, because the people that are doing all this amazing stuff, the foundation is this. Okay, this is the foundation. We're climbing a ladder. Don't worry about the people that are way up above us, because they were at this place where just like a year ago they're going whoa, and so you're going to go whoa too. All right, so first of all, go ahead and share this video and like the channel. Please get it out there. It really helps. The more people we get involved in the community, the better it is for us all. And how do we get people involved in the community? By saying, hey, watch these videos, get involved in the community. Yo. So thank you for doing that. All right, I'm going to show you a very easy way to get this going. It's only a matter of a few steps, and you're going to be off to the races. All right. Well, let's get going here then. All right, so pretty much everything we're going to be doing today, we're going to be doing with this guy, Elias Veal, who, big brain fellow who has actually made the SDForge, and he's going to make what we're going to be using. It's called ControlNet. Just really quickly, if you haven't installed SDForge, you need to just type SDForge GitHub. This is a branch off of what's called Automatic 111, okay? 1111, I think, actually. And it's a better version. It's like an updated version of that. So all you're going to do is you're going to type that in. You're going to go to this one here, Stable Diffusion Web UI Forge. You're going to scroll down to where it says Installing Forge, okay? If I can highlight that. Why is that not highlighted? That's weird. There we go. All right. So all you got to do is you got to click on it and you download it, okay? Then you're going to find a folder that you want it to be in, okay? You're just going to put that zip file into a folder. I'm putting mine on this temp for now. You're going to have this file here. You just extract it. Forget all of these top three for the minute. And what's going to do is you're going to extract it. It's going to pull out these three. all you got to do is click run, okay? And it's going to download your, it's going to install and download your basic stuff, okay? Now, before we get too far into this, we're going to have to download some other models to work with us. Now, if you haven't watched the video on how to use Civitai, you should go do that, but we'll also do a quick run through of that. Sorry, my dog is down here by my feet there. I'm reaching down to it. Okay, so anyway, so we have this installed, okay? Now, what we're going to do is you go ahead to run it. Once it's installed, okay, you just got to click the run, okay? It's going to go ahead and make your server, and then it's going to pop you up to this screen. Okay, let's actually hit reset here. It's going to pop you up to this screen, and you're going to have up here what's called realistic vision. Okay, it's going to be the only model you have. It's not a very good model, but it's what it starts you out with. Now, what we're going to want to do is go down here, and you can see where it says ControlNet integrated. Okay, we're going to click this, and then we're going to check it. Okay, so we're going to say that we actually want to use this, and you're going to see down here your options: Canny, OpenPose, and you'll notice that when I check them, the preprocessor changes, but there's a problem. You're going to click over here on models, and there's none. So we're going to have to download the models, okay? And you're going to also find out that depending on different models you get, we're going to need different ControlNet models. Now, I'm assuming the reason they call this ControlNet is because you can control the image. And you're going to see there's a lot of different things that you can do with the ControlNet. We're not going to cover all those in this video. We're just going to cover Canny and OpenPose. Okay, so we're set up. We have opened this up. We want to do this, but if we do something, we're going to notice it doesn't do anything. Now, I'm going to go ahead and we'll just put a Viking woman, okay? And I'm going to put it in the negative prompt, not safe for work, because a lot of these models will give you nudies whether you want them or ask for them or not. So we put that in there. That's going to keep us from getting something bad. Now notice I gave us a lady, so it generated it up, but it's not giving us anything that we can do with pose. So first what we need to do is we need to go get the models. Let's go do that. So let's go back to our Google, and what we're going to type is the same fellow here. His name is Elias Viel. We're going to type ILLYASVIEL. Then we're going to type in the word ControlNet, and it's going to bring up this one that says V1V1. So we can actually even type that one. Okay, and this is what we want. We're going to click on this Elias Viel ControlNet. Okay, and then it's going to bring us here to Hugging Face. Okay, you need to log into Hugging Face. If you don't have a Hugging Face account, you need to make sure you have one because it's vital to everything you're going to be doing with AI. So we're going to click on Files and Versions. Now it's going to bring up this entire thing here. These are all ControlNet stuff. So we're going to be looking for the ones that say .pth on them. Okay, so you don't have to download the YAMLs. Okay, those are. It's like a way of, it's like a data thing. It's a way of holding information. But we need the PTH. You can download all of these if you want, okay, because they're all going to do something with ControlNet. But we're not going to. We're just going to download Canny. So we're going to download this one here, and we're going to download OpenPose. Now notice it says SD. These are going to be for Stable Diffusion 1.5 models, okay. So when you have, I'm not going to go deep into this, but like different image models are based on different technologies. So you have Stable Diffusion models, or you have XL models. Those are the two that we're going to look at, okay? And neither of the twain shall meet, okay? If you try to use the ControlNet, the SD ControlNet with an XL model like Juggernaut, you've heard me talk about Juggernaut before. The new Juggernaut is an awesome model. It's a great model, but it won't work with an SD model. Okay, so we're going to have a ControlNet for that one. Okay, these ones here that we got are for a Stable Diffusion 1.5 model, and I will show you how to get one. Okay, and I'll also show you what happens if you use it with the wrong one. But first of all, we're going to download them. So you go here, find the one that says Canny, ST15, it says .pth. Okay, we're going to scroll over to here. Look, it's 1.45 gigs. We're going to hit here to where it says download file. Okay, now it's going to, let's click over to here. It's going to click up, ask you where you want to save it. Okay, now I've got it already saved here, but I did another reinstall here under my temp folder. So where you've installed SDForge, you're going to see a folder that says Web UI. You're going to click it. Okay, then you're going to go here to where it says Models. Then you're going to go to ControlNet. Okay, now this, put a 1 there. Yours won't have that. Okay, but now we're here in the Web UI Models ControlNet folder. See that? We're just going to save it there. Okay, boom, easy peasy. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go the same thing for OpenPose. We're going to find the one that says openpose.pth. We're going to click the download. Same thing. We're going to put that in there. Now, it'll take a little bit of time because it's 1.3 gigabytes. Okay, we're going to let that download. Okay, now in the meanwhile, we're going to rock on over to not Electric Avenue, but close. We're going to rock on over to Civitai, civitai.com. Now, we've talked about Civitai before. This is a place where you can get different models. You can look at images people have created. Awesome site. So you click on models. Okay, it's going to show us a bunch of different models. Okay, it's got a bunch of porn stuff and everything too, so you've got to block that if you don't want to see all that stuff. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on here on filters. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to look for a base model. Now notice mine's already checked. Yours will be unchecked, and it's going to bring up everything. We're going to click on SD 1.5, and it's going to bring up a bunch of checkpoints. So you don't want the LoRa's. Okay, LoRa's we can talk about another time, but those are like things you put on top of a checkpoint. But here you could grab your Cyber Realistic. You could grab your Real Dream. We'll just grab Real Dream. What you do is you click on it, and it's going to go over here to where it says download. Okay, so same thing. I'll click back over to our desktop view here real quick. Okay, you're just going to click it. It's going to ask you where do you want to download it to. Okay, if it downloads it into your downloads folder, some of you have it just set to automatically go to your downloads folder. You're just going to have to drag it out. You're going to have to cut and paste it. So now notice we're in the ControlNet folder. Well, we don't want to be there. What we want to do is we want to go back one folder. Oops. So we're going to click on models. Now we need to go into this stable diffusion. Let me show you how to get here. So you go to where you installed. There's Web UI. Click it. Go to models. Okay. Then we click stable diffusion. Okay. Now I've already got it downloaded here, but you're going to click save. Okay. Now you have an SD 1.5 model in your thing. So now that that's downloaded, now that we have installed our ControlNet, we're going to pop back over to our program. Okay. Now up here is where you change your models. We're going to click this refresh button. See this one right here? Now notice our new ones come up. Okay, and now I've already got my Juggernaut in there. It ain't going to work because that's an X model, but it's fine. We're going to click Real Dream. Okay, now again, be careful with this Real Dream. You got to put NSFW. I've tried to just get pictures of girls and it'll show their boobs. Okay, and so you have to prompt to not get that sometimes. But anyway, so here we're going to go. We've got our model. Let's go down here. Let's do a Canny one first. Okay, now notice over here it says none, but we're going to click the refresh button. And now all of a sudden there's our Canny stuff. There it is. Cool. So we're going to click Canny. Now this is how we do this. We grab a picture. So we're going to click on that. It's going to bring up different picture. You'll bring up your pictures, your file explorer. So let's say I want to recreate this image. Okay. Now using Canny, I've already clicked on Canny. I got my preprocessor, and now we downloaded our model, so there we go. Now, see this little button that looks like a little explosion? We're going to click that. Now watch what happens. It made this whole thing there, so it's going to use that to prompt the image. So now we go up here, we've got a Viking woman. Okay, we've got the negative NSFW, so we're safe. And then we're just going to click generate. Now watch what's going to happen. It's going to take a second to load it up. And then now look at that. It's created the one, but she's exactly like that. That's amazing, huh? Let's put in here, we could put a clown. Okay. Oh, that's creepy stuff right there. When did clowns get creepy? Like back in the day they were creepy, but I don't think people were creeped out by them. But that's creepy stuff. Probably because of the movies. We see that too. But so you can see how Canny works. That's pretty awesome. Now watch this. Now we're going to click on over to OpenPose. Okay, it's going to reset this. And because we've downloaded the OpenPose thing, it's going to set us here in the models. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to click this. Now look at what it's going to do. It's going to give us like a stick figure. I think it's taking a second because it's got to load the model. That's actually a really creepy picture of that clown there. Okay, so now notice this. Same thing. Let's go up here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, and let's go back to our Viking woman. And we'll hit generate. And now, there you go. So it's going to give the same thing. Now notice it's not exactly the same like the Canny. The Canny grabbed a bunch of details. This one grabs the position. So now watch this. This is great. We're going to go down here. You've got this edit up here. Ignore that. We're going to go to this next one down here. It's going to bring up this screen. And now we can change it. I'm going to click and highlight that whole face, and I'm going to rotate it so it's looking up, and I'm going to move it back. Let me put the head back here. Okay, now this looks like an arm. Let's pull that up and put that arm there, and I think these are hands. I'm not sure what that is. Well, whatever. So we're going to change this, and I'm not sure we're going to be able to change the arm that much. Let's change the position. Now we're going to click Send Pose to ControlNet. Okay, there you go. Now we've got our Viking woman. Let's click Generate and let's see what happens. There you go. Look at that. It completely changed the pose. That's incredible. That is, dude, that's AI at its best, right? I mean, that's amazing stuff, guys. And that was just a matter of a few seconds. That is cool stuff. Now watch what we're going to do here. Let's go over down here and let's clear this one out. We're going to hit here, just hit the delete button. Let's grab one. It's got two people in here. We're going to grab this one here of this king and the knight. Same thing. We're going to scroll down here. We're in OpenPose. Click this little BAM button. Okay. Now there you have it. So let's say, whoops. Let's put up here something like a man giving a flower to a woman. Woman who is sitting down. Okay, and let's see what it can do. Okay, so look at that. It grabbed the images and it created it. That's pretty awesome, huh? Again, you could go in here and you could same thing. You could hit the where to go, the edit button, and then you could change these things up. Now I'm going to show you something real quick here. Notice if you click down here, it says person 1, person 2. They actually have different things. You got neck, shoulder, all these things, so you can actually kind of figure out what's what. Okay, and you can actually, when you're creating your own, you can add faces, all this stuff. You can actually add these things. So go ahead and play with that. That actually helps you to see what's going on. Let's see, let's raise the hand up here. Let's put this face up a little bit. Let's change the footing. Okay, well, let's see if we can put another hand. Let's see with this. If we click on one of these, that's a hand. Okay, so that's the left hand. Oh no, yeah, that's the right hand. I don't know how the left hand's working. Well, you can add, anyways, if you get rid of one of these things, you can add the left hand. There you go, look at that. And so now you can actually be creating some stuff. Alright, so we could go to ControlNet. Let's say a man patting another man on the head. Because it looks like that hand's on the head. Let's see if it'll do it. There you go. Look at that. That's ControlNet. That's pretty amazing stuff, huh? I mean, that's pretty cool. Again, we could rock back on over to Canny. Do the same thing. Click that. Now this one's going to be, whoops, a bit harder, I think, doing them, because that actually looks like a king there. Yeah, so that one's going to stay closer to the original, okay? But you could obviously change it up a bit. That's kind of a weird image. I kind of like that other one better. But or you could just recreate it. You know, you could just recreate it and type a king is knighting a soldier. And that'll be pretty close to what we had before. See? That's pretty awesome. Okay, now I'm going to show you what happens, though, if you try to use this with the wrong model. So you go, oh, all right, I want to use my Juggernaut model. And then you go ahead. Actually, let's get a better Juggernaut model. Let's go over here to Real Dream, or Civitai, and let's click our filters. We got to hit back. Let's click our filters. Let's undo our SD 1.5. Let's go ahead and do a search for Juggernaut XL. That is a great, it's a great model. Okay, so let's go ahead and click this one. Okay, and same thing, we would just download this. It's going to ask us where we want to put it. Same thing, Web UI. We click Models, Stable Diffusion. This one I'm going to go ahead and save. Okay. Now you can see that this is, how big does it say it is? Oh, I guess it didn't say. Sometimes it says on there. So that's a big model. That's 6.5 gigabytes of model there. But you can see it's overwhelmingly positive. We've got a lot of people that like this model, but you can see the base model is an SDXL. What's going to happen is if we try to run one of these under something that's not an SD model, that we're actually going to get an error over here. See, none type object is not iterable. It ain't going to work. Okay, we'll try it again here. See how the other one's downloading. Okay, and there's another ones you can get that says like matplot doesn't fit, and basically it's because the models aren't fit. It's like you have a square and a rectangle, and they don't fit. Okay, so the two models have different what are called architecture. Okay, it's built differently. All right, so which is why when you're using an SD, you need SD models in your ControlNet. Okay, and when you're using an X or an XL, you need XL ones. So this is almost done. But wait just a second. You can see it's almost done. One download in progress. Oh my God, I can taste it. Taste my binary. Okay, so done. Okay, now we go back over here. We do the same thing. We hit refresh. Okay, and you'll see there's our Juggernaut XL. Now, same thing. We're going to click generate. We're going to get an error. It's going to take a second to load. But when it does load, there it goes. Okay, same thing. None type object is not iterable. So I'm telling you, sometimes you're going to get ones that say matplot. If you get errors you don't understand, it's because you're not using the correct ControlNet. So how do we fix it? You know what? I'm very glad you asked. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our friend EliasVeal. Okay, and we're going to do a Google search for EliasVeal. And what we're going to do is type in SD control collection. Okay, and it's going to bring up this. So we're going to click there. Okay, same thing. We're going to click Files and Versions. Now you can notice these ones have XL. Okay, now there's a bunch of different ones, and you can do some research online, figure out which ones you are the best. I'm going to show you the ones that I use. Okay, and we're going to grab those. So I use this Thibod XL OpenPose, and now this one's a safe tensors. So what we're going to do, same thing, we're just going to click it, download it. Okay, same thing. It's going to bring us here. Now we got to go to our ControlNet folder. So we go back to our models. Remember, we get their web UI, models, ControlNet. This is where we downloaded our .pth files, and we're just going to click Save. All right, it's going to start downloading. Then we're going to go grab our Canny. I'm going to grab this one, this T21 adapter Canny. So same thing. I'm just going to, this is a small 155 megabyte. We're going to click on it. Same thing. Make sure it's in our ControlNet folder, and we're just going to click Save. Easy peasy. Extra squeezy. Okay, so we're just waiting for this to download. We could actually probably work on the Canny one. Yeah, the Canny one's downloaded already. So let's go take a look at that real quick. Now we're going to be over here. We're in our Juggernaut XL. Okay, so we're in an XL model. So notice we go down here to our models. This is still on the SD version, so we're going to click refresh. Now notice it's got our XL Canny one here, so we're going to click on that. Okay, we've already got this in here. It's going to do the same thing. We're just going to click this little boom button, and it does the same. Okay, a little bit different. Looks a little bit more detailed, actually. So a king is knighting a soldier. Let's go ahead and click generate. And there you go. Okay, that's not great quality, but there you have it. Okay, now you can do this if you go over to your system. You can grab whatever XL model you want. Okay, you don't have to use Juggernaut. Okay, let's say you click your filters, and you click it here on, I guess, your SDXL here. Okay. And it's going to show you all, it's going to show you all your XL models that you could use. Okay, you can use that one if you want. It's got a pretty gal on it. Okay, again, you're not going to be grabbing ones of Lords, you're going to be grabbing checkpoints. Okay, so any of these, look at this, Realism by Stable Yogi. You could, some of these are so funny. You could use those. Okay, and it will get the same sort of thing. You get a little bit different image, but it's all going to conform to what's your Canny. Now I think our our OpenPose is finished. So let's go back down here and let's click on OpenPose. Okay, and then we're going to go back over here. We're going to click this refresh button. Now there's our XL OpenPose. Okay, so if we hit this, same thing, we're going to be back to here, and then we could change it up. We could say, a man is explaining something to his son. Good luck, Dad. And now, because we're using the XL version, it's going to take a second to load it up. It's going to use our pose. That's pretty cool, huh? But now watch this. If we go back to our SD version over here, let's go back to our Real Dream. We try to use it with that. I don't believe it's going to work. It always takes, whenever you change models, it takes a little bit of time. So let's give it a second. But it's going to throw an error here in just a minute. Okay, same thing. None type object is not iterable. If we want to go back to using this, we got to go. Whoops, damn it. We got to go back to change our model down here, and we would go back to our SD OpenPose, and then we click it. So you get that. If you have a model that's an SD model, you use the one. If you have one that's a XL model, you use the other. You guys can play with these. Listen, you can download these things. You can go to images and you can type OpenPose models. Okay, you can get different stuff. One of the things I like to do is, watch this. We'll just get a picture of an image. Let's just say man standing with hands on side. Okay, let's get a picture of just some dude. Now let's get this one. So we just click this, save the image to somewhere. Okay. Now if we go back to our Stable Diffusion, let's clear this out. We just hit that little garbage can. Now we can go find that image and hit our little BAM button. And now we have a person that we can do pretty much whatever we want with. Okay, so we could drag this down. See, if I highlight it, I can get everything at once. Okay, I don't think that I can. Yeah, I don't think that you can turn it left or right with that. So if you wanted to get rid of the eyes and make them looking sideways, you'd have to delete some of these, this eye over here and some of this stuff. But bottom line is, by getting something like this, we have pretty much full, we have a basic human. That would be funny. That we can do whatever we want with. Let's see how far we can stretch the legs out. That ought to be terrible. I don't think it's going to work. Let's give it a shot. Let's send pose to ControlNet. Okay, and we'll just say a man. Click generate. Yeah. Right, see, we made such a ridiculous thing that it still conformed to it. So what the point here is, let's go rechange it, is that if you go over to images, you can just get a basic image of a person, and then you can change it up. There you go. Look at that. That's pretty cool. All right. So there you have it, guys. Real simple OpenPose, real simple Canny. You guys, this is good stuff, okay? And then we'll figure out how to put this into other applications. This is all part of workflow stuff. If you get going with your comfy UI stuff, this is all part of these workflows. We say, okay, well, let's get the position we want. Then we're going to add this. Then we're going to do this. This is like you guys, this is basic Lego blocks here. So important. You just leveled up by learning this, and that was so easy. Okay, we just downloaded the software, went over to get the correct control nets, and then put it in here. And you can research what these other ones do. Listen, when we was over here and we're looking at all these this ControlNet collection, if you want, download them all. Okay, I mean, like, not all. So like if you got multiple depths, just grab one. You don't have to have like the 128 and the 256. Just grab one of them, but grab one of each. Okay, and then you can actually use all of these different functions. You can figure out what they do. Okay, your in-paint stuff. I mean, that's all good stuff. We'll go over this in time, but for now, all you need is OpenPose and Canny, and you are gold, man. You're making great stuff. Okay, well, you hang in there. If you have any questions, hit me up. You can find me on Discord. You can find me on the Patreon. You can find me on Reddit. You can hit me up here on YouTube. I'm happy to help, okay? In the meanwhile, you stay good, and as always, we'll catch you on the other side.